Hello and welcome to the Groundbreaker podcast. This is the show where we unpack some of the amazing, brilliant, and unique, even innovative ideas that are reshaping Africa as a continent. Now, today we want to unpack the African Union's digital transformation strategy that says the current moment is a leapfrogging opportunity and is urging the continent to encourage inclusive growth, to encourage human capacity building for inclusive growth. And we're doing that through the lens of Maureen Mungara, who is the founder of Social Media Managers Africa. What is that about? Let's find out from Maureen. Karibu sana to the Groundbreaker podcast.
Thank you so much, Awar, for having me.
Yeah, and thank you for joining us. We are so happy to have you.
Thank you.
We understand that you're the people who are driving forth the continent. Yeah?
Yes, digitally.
Yeah, digitally. And that is what life is all about right now. Everything is going digital. Everything is going digital.
Yes.
Tell me, what is Social Media Managers Africa all about?
Well, there's a long story behind it,
Right.
but just to get our audience to know what it's about, I came back home to Africa after I burnt a bridge of a career that looked like, now it looks like things are looking together.
Okay.
Then I cut my trip short, came back home to what? Usually we'd say to nothing. So it was the conversation of what is it I can do? And it was a no-brainer that what I needed to do was help business owners on social media, because what I was doing before was helping the organization I was working at to be able to reach masses across the globe while I
Right.
was just here in Nairobi, and we did that through Facebook. And so, you rush to what you already have experience in, and that's how I arrived at, maybe I can start doing that, but now for small business owners.
Okay.
And so when I got into it, it surprised me how many SMEs, then it was just in Kenya, really wanted that service, because
Okay.
there was already the buzz of you need to be on social media, that's where your customers are. And so when I said I can help with social media marketing, a lot of people wanted that.
How long ago is this?
This is back in 2019.
Okay.
So I stumbled upon an opportunity that had so much demand, but there was really nobody serving that. So what was there is a lot of digital marketing agencies that serve a lot of the corporate, and small business owners cannot have the budget for that. And I discovered this is a need. Now, I couldn't serve as many people, so I had a long wait list. So when the contract expires, you can come on board. And then one of my clients asked me, do you have somebody you've trained that you can refer me to?
Okay.
And that was my lead bulb.
Wow.
I can train somebody, because I can refer you, but if I can't vouch for you, it became a bit of a problem. Like, I don't know if they can deliver to the standard you expect of me. So it became difficult to refer. And we didn't have a sense of like a community. There are not many people doing what I was doing at the time. And so that was it.
And what's your background for you to have come from a different career into something that now you solely did at the time?
I wouldn't say I have a proper career background as
Okay.
we think of it, because in my early 20s, I went to school to do mass communication. Then I never really got to do any of that, maybe just a bit of radio here and there. Then I quickly transitioned to a Christian organization that was doing a lot of volunteering, outreach, impacting missions. And so in the process of that, like, let's say, for example, they're trying to reach out to a different country and they're trying to do like a summit together. And so we need to market.
Then
get
you
people.
do that.
So I'd use Facebook to tell people, hey, look, this is happening in Mexico, in US.
Okay.
Can we all rally around and go there? So
Yeah.
we'd use Facebook, and then we'd run some few ads here and there. And so then there was a media department, because I'm already into that and I love that. Then we'd do a lot of like content creation at the time. YouTube was what was really huge. It was now beginning to pick up, and we'll do like small recaps of like, this event is coming, or this is what happened, and would shoot like the TV style and put it out. Basically, just trying to force my dream.
And
that
that's a very simple and basic background.
Yes.
But is it simple?
I don't think
when it comes to social media management? Is it that simple?
It's not as simple, actually, and that's the reason why I do what I do, because I know what it took me to actually learn what exactly you need to do or what you need to know to be successful. And it's a lot. It took a lot of YouTube videos, thousands of hours trying to piece 1 and 2 to figure it out. A lot of mistakes, a lot of businesses that I worked on that really didn't go anywhere. And so I leverage a lot on my personal experience as a social media manager to train other people on what does it look like to run a business as a social media manager. And so in 2022, we launched our first cohort.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So this first cohort, could you tell us about the strategy that you used? Of course, someone asked you whether you've trained someone, and that was the awakening moment.
All right.
But what did you have to put together to bring in trainees?
So this is what I did, and it's my biggest strategy of life.
Okay.
Simplicity. Clarity will take you places. I simply went to my Instagram stories. At the time, I had like 700 to 900 followers, and I put out on my stories, anybody who's curious to learn to do what I do and would like me to teach them, reply to my send me a DM. And I was surprised at how many people were actually following me and were actually interested to do what I do. And it's basically because I was documenting what I'm doing. I was sharing tips on being a social media manager. I was trying to be loud about it. So I was building a personal brand around being a social media manager, not knowing I was attracting people who are aspiring to do what I'm doing. And the first cohort, can you guess how many people we signed up?
Tell me.
I want you to make a guess.
I'm not good with it.
Consider it's a first one. So how many people?
It's a first one. Okay. So 9?
50.
I told you I was guessing.
No, but you did a good guess, because to be honest, I was expecting 5 to 10 people.
Okay.
But our first cohort, we had 50 people who signed up.
Okay.
Again, a light bulb moment of this is something people want and people need. And so how did I go about from somebody asking, have you trained somebody, to actually creating a training that actually worked?
Yeah.
Number one, I can say is, I just asked myself, if I would go back, what would I want of a course?
Yeah, what would I want to know?
Yes. Then I realized I wouldn't want to know all the things you can find on the internet or on those social media courses or digital courses you find everywhere, because that anybody can learn. And with AI, you can find that. I wanted to know the most difficult part was how to run that business. For example, how do I pitch myself? What do the clients need? How do I ensure I deliver the results they're hiring me for? Then if I'm to run this as a business, not like a job, I need to have a system, onboarding system. How do I onboard a client? How do I make sure, how do I know these are the number of clients I can serve? So the mistakes I was making that I had to learn by myself, for example, onboarding too many clients that I can't serve, yet I'm not making enough money. So how can I still serve lesser clients but make more money to sustain me? I'm big on freedom of my time, especially because I always wanted to have time to be at home with my kids. I have one with my child, and so that for me was a big factor as well. So I was thinking about other moms. You know, in Africa, it happens to women. Once you go into giving birth to children, not a lot of people get to find their way back to their jobs. Your job is taken, you're back to jobless, you're trying to find your way around. And so that also impacted and influenced how I structured my training.
Wow, that's a beautiful story there. So could you tell me about the impact that this has so far created, even in just Kenya alone? I mean, you're targeting a global market, but what impact can you talk about when it comes to influencing people's lives and making their lives better?
All right. So when I started out, of course, I looked at home, and quickly I got a lot of people from across Africa. Like, can this work for me? I'm based in Uganda, I'm based in Rwanda, I'm based in Zimbabwe. And since we were executing it virtually, we started to open doors for that. And so the impact has been that we've been able to impact a lot of young people across Africa. We intentionally made it a program that is exclusive to Africans, because behind it being a training that I do, it's something that I consider like a, what can I call it? It's something that is close to my heart. I'm passionate about it, and I'm looking at how can it contribute to impacting my continent where I come from. Of course, I got mentorship from a lot of people across the world, but you can tell the challenges of being a social media manager or trying to do anything when you're in Africa, it cannot be compared to how it is out there. So I felt I wanted to make it exclusive to that. So the first impact is we were able to reach to as many young people across Africa, Kenya not limiting. The other impact is that I just thought I was going to train people who can serve the clients who I can't serve. But it became something that is creating crazy opportunities for young Africans. You know, we don't have jobs. They're hard to come by. If you graduated today in Kenya, for instance, with a good grade and you start a job, what's the average pay for like a, maybe you graduated with economics or something, like averagely your first pay, how much would that look like? On a minimum to a maximum?
Yeah, on a minimum is, in my opinion,
yes,
it's from 20 to somewhere under 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you get paid like 50,000, you're really lucky, right? It's a good start.
Yeah, if you get a start at 50, you're really lucky.
Yes. Now, this shocked me. It was not the plan. Within just between 3 to 6 months of being a social media manager, we see them hitting a minimum of $1,000 per person.
Per month.
Per month.
Ooh.
Within, you know, what can 6 months do for you if you just got your job after a campus? Really, you can't really even negotiate for a higher pay.
Yeah.
But think about the next 2-3 years, you can start to see how your pay can increase. Within 6 months, leave alone 1 year. What if you're getting, by the time they're getting to 1 year, they are now coming back to, for our accelerator program, how can I scale beyond this? Another impact, maybe I could share this as the last impact, is that besides just them getting opportunities within, we begin to see that a lot of remote opportunities are opening up to our people here at home. Before, for Africans to get opportunity, we would export talent. You have to relocate with your family abroad, and whatever you make is serving the economy of the country you're working at. But with what we are doing, we're beginning to see that you can be serving clients from all over the world, but you are operating from home. That means it's actually contributing. Whatever pounds and dollars you're earning,
you're still contributing to the local economy.
Exactly, which I think is really what we want as Kenya, as Africans.
As Africans.
Yes.
That's really nice and very impactful. Thank you for sharing that. The next thing that I'd like to ask you is about this inclusive digital world. What does it mean, especially with regards to what you're doing? What does it mean to you? What does it mean to the people you've helped put out there?
Well, to be honest, like you can tell my story, it was never planned out. It was like, can I just see until there? Let's move. And as we were growing, it was opening up to more things we can do.
Sure.
So I never even had the vision of how can we be inclusive. I just wanted to create, empower people with a skill I have so we can serve more people. And now it's beginning to become something of its own. So when it comes to inclusivity, I did not intentionally make this happen, but I think I can tell why it happened. Naturally, 90% of our students are women. We try to discuss this with my team. Why do we think that is? In fact, we are trying to find how we can get more men on board.
Okay.
We've trained about 2,000 plus right now, and out of those, we were looking at our numbers. I think only 50 are men.
Okay.
So maybe for the inclusivity aspect, we are trying to see how can we have more men on board in this case. And then also, this one is very interesting. I am very bold about my faith.
Okay.
Even on my platforms. Anybody who follows me, if you're a part of our community, I'm a Christian, God is a big part of what we do. And even at that, we have not made it a Christian thing, because you find that we have a whole community of social media managers who are Muslims. And we love it because we have a Muslim community of business owners across Africa who need help with their social media platforms. And so we are having we are almost now building a whole community of Muslim SMMs to serve their own communities. And we've never really come out and say we are open to everybody. I think it's how we put ourselves out there
that brings everyone else.
Doesn't make them feel like it's not for me, and it brings everybody else We've also been getting a lot of people with disability, which is something that's
Ooh.
making us start to think about how can we accommodate more people.
Brilliant.
Like now they're blind, because I don't think we have that in place. But we've had people with for the last 3 cohorts, we've had at least one person with disability coming for our
Okay.
certificate award, even in the back-end communication to ensure we support them. They will reach out privately and they'll tell us, and then we'll make sure we're able to accommodate them.
Okay.
And that has really been very nice to see. Like, oh, I love that we are inclusive, but now it's making us to think, how can we be more intentional to even reach out more to them, since they're already telling us they need what we have.
Okay.
And so we are trying to see how can we be more inclusive even in the way we deliver our programs.
Oh, thank you for that. So let me ask you this about whoever wants to come and join. It's an important question for whoever is going to be listening or watching this.
Yeah.
There's a financial factor involved
Yes.
in the training.
Yes.
Is it affordable to everyone who wants to join?
I could say it's affordable, but I don't like to talk about affordability. I like to talk about the value you get as a result of it. So basically, we charge about $69. That's about maybe like 8,500, right? Kenya shillings.
For the 3 days, is it?
For the
3 days.
training. So
Yeah.
that's about 8,500 in Kenya shillings, about $69 to $70. And to be honest, you literally make back that money within the first month,
Okay.
because of how the minimum you can charge a client. Okay. And we also support in client acquisition after the program.
All
We also
right.
train you on how to acquire clients. So at least you can be, after the 3 days, within 2 weeks, once you've put things in place, within the end of the first month,
You
most of
actually
them are
get
already
it. Yeah.
already serving clients. So you literally, I usually say, if you're short of money, like you don't have enough cash, and you're thinking about making an investment, because investment is something everybody's preaching to us left, right, and center.
Yeah.
I always say the best investment you can make is acquiring a skill that is very highly monetizable,
Okay.
that you can invest in it and you can gain a skill which you can now make a lot of money from it over and over and over again. And I think that's what we are in. We're in the business of skill monetization.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Still on the trainees, what qualifications do you need to have to be able to manage any social media platform or any business successfully?
On social media, in this
Yeah.
case, I'd say you need to be somebody who loves spending time on social media, because that's going to become your new office. If you spend at least 2 hours every day on social media, then you might be considering to get paid for your time. All right. If you do an average of how much hours you spend on social media, probably averagely say 4 to 6 hours a day goes on social media. That's a whole day. You see, if you can use that time and get paid for it, I think that's it. So that's the first thing you say. You need to be somebody who is really into the social media space. You love spending time on there, because if you consume content on social media, there are some basic things you will know. You know how the platform operates. You know where to go to check this. This is, you know, the different type of contents people
Okay.
put out. So that basic experience, which pretty much anybody who has a Facebook, Instagram, TikTok account knows. Then number 2, I think you need to be hungry,
Yeah.
because this is just not a skill you acquire then you just get into a job. You have to be hungry, because once you have the skill, a lot of your success is determined on how able you are to actually go for the opportunities.
Okay.
You know, sometimes when you're hungry enough, you might have some sense of imposter syndrome or some things that are limiting you, but the hunger is louder, so you go through anyway.
Yeah.
So I think we've realized that people who come to us and are really like in the fix of like, I need to make something happen, tend to be more successful than people who come to it as a by the way, like, let me just have a look at what it's about. They end up really not doing much about it. So somebody who's hungry in terms of education, as long as you have been at least to high school, you've done your Form 4 A levels, that's pretty much enough. So that's the thing. You have to really have a very open mindset and not feel like just because it took me 3 days, then I don't have what it takes. Basically what we've done, and it's proven, we have sieved all the unnecessary information, and we give you what it takes for you to understand social media and be able to start working with a client and give them the results they're hiring you for.
Okay.
Then now our magic, I don't like using that word, but I can say what is our the backbone of everything, what holds all this fort together is our post-training support model.
Yeah.
So we have this community where we now transition you into. It's completely optional, but we make it optional because we realize some people are not really keen on they just want one client, I'm good to go. But for those who are thinking this is a career I want to pursue, we need to be able to offer them support. And so we channel them into this community, which now we hold their hand. Then again, community is powerful. When you feel like I'm not the only one doing this, like we all went through the same class, we all have the same challenges, it just brings everything together. Like I can always go to somebody for something that I'm struggling with. And sometimes we really don't have much work in the community. We sit back and watch them within themselves support each other. Somebody will put up a question in the morning, a screenshot. This happened to my client's account. Anybody who knows of the problem, somebody said, oh, that's just this this is a problem. You just need to press here and do this and it should be gone. Then, oh, thanks, it worked. And within themselves, they're just troubleshooting their own problems, something I never had when I was starting out.
Okay.
And when I see that every day, I just feel like, yes, this is the reason why I am doing what I'm doing.
That is nice and powerful as well.
Thank you.
You're talking of other coaches. It means you've pulled a team together.
In the process of doing that. So what and that's the power of the community. So as the community, it's been since 2022. So a lot of our pioneers have become great experts. So what we do, we collaborate.
Okay.
For instance, I think I've only taught in the community twice.
Okay.
So we go back into our own experts that now come back and give back to the community that gave to you. Right? I used to be the only one at the back end, but right now I have people who've gone through the program and now I can say are at a place where we can consider them experts who are now coming on to, I am now building a community team who now they are quick, I call them community managers. So we have the ones that handle the front end of the community just to make sure opportunities are put out on time, people get the opportunities they sign up for, and then we have the back end community who work closer with me, which I'm also a part of, where we now, maybe you put your portfolio together, you need it reviewed. Is it okay? Is it how we taught it to be? You can send in your portfolio, we can review for you, and we can give you feedback.
Okay. And do you get these opportunities yourself so that you distribute it to the people you've trained, or how does this work? When a student finishes the training within 3 days, how are they placed?
That's a very good question, and I think that's now where we really are and where something I'd really like to talk about here.
Okay.
So first things first is we can't even satisfy the demand that we already have just from our own organic social media. Just from my social media platform, my own personal brand, every single day we have business owners reaching out to ask, I need a social media manager. And I think it's grown so organically. I can't remember the last time I put up an advert to say hire from us, because we can't even satisfy the need and the people right now we are at 400 SMMs in the community. Like I told you, not everybody we train comes on board. Okay. And we really just can't satisfy the need. Sometimes we really struggle to find somebody because they probably already have the opportunities, and we empower them. We don't let them rely on the community for opportunities. We teach them how to acquire clients. It's part of the curriculum. It's called client acquisition process. We teach them that. So most of them jump at it on the go and they are good to go. So you find that the community for other reasons, not clients per se. That's why we put up an opportunity and we still are trying to find who is available. So that tells us we need to train more people so that we can serve the need that is there, number one. The other thing that we're trying to do is that we are, besides the training and everything, one of the goals we have is to empower these young Africans for the future. As we all know right now, according to the World Bank, in the year 2030, over $130 billion will be coming from the digital space. And it's not just from social media, but generally from agriculture, from e-commerce and all that. And this is projected. That means that a lot of the digital economy is banking on Africa. And so knowing that, we are trying to be at the heart of that. How can we prepare? If the world is coming to Africa for talent, for all that, then this is the time we prepare. So when they come, they find people, right? So we are in that journey of doing that. But also we are also looking at opportunities where we can provide more remote opportunities for our communities. Because, of course, remote opportunities pay better. So it's good for their pockets. And it's good for our economies back here in Africa. So that's where we are at. As at now, only about 5% of our opportunities are remote. like they come from other countries outside Africa. Majority of them are from home. So that is now the next phase of what we are trying to crack. So maybe somebody's watching and has opportunities for my people, please, let's have a conversation. I think that is now the conversations we are having. How can we get more remote opportunities for our African young people so that they can earn better? And I think it's going to do general good to our economy in Africa at large.
Yeah, and I think that's a good place to end this conversation for now, right?
Yes, I think
and
so too.
that has been extremely powerful, extremely educating, and extremely inspirational even for me. That's Maureen Mungara, who is changing the African digital landscape by training social media managers. Her business is called Social Media Managers Africa.
Yes, and you can find me personally on social media, mostly Instagram as Social Media with Mo, or Maureen Mungara on all the on LinkedIn and the rest. And I'm sure somebody's listening and they're wondering, how can I be part of that training?
Yeah.
So we do trainings. We have cohorts once every quarter. So we are in July right now. So we have a cohort coming up in August. On the 27th to the 29th of August. So if you want to be, actually we are currently doing early bird registrations, which you get it like you pay about like 6,500 instead of the 8,500. So if you're interested, you can always reach me on my DMs and we can always get you on board for the class. And then we have another one at the end of the year around November. And then we'll close the year with our 4 cohorts done.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much for that information. And I hope someone has watched this and someone has listened.
Yes.
Someone in need of what you're offering. And as you've heard, the whole world is coming to Africa.
Yes.
So the question is whether you'll be ready when they knock on your door. Thank you very much for watching and listening to the Groundbreaker podcast. My name is Awodongo and our guest has been Maureen Mungara. Until next time, goodbye.
Bye-bye.